Hey there everyone, a quick video for you this morning breaking down some technicals on NVIDIA stock following their earnings, taking a look at the charts for it, and then also we're going to talk about PLTR and SOFI's charts, see what we see, and also give some general commentary on what we see in the indices as well. So through the Qs for the NASDAQ 100, through the SPY for the S&P 500, and then also a potential short opportunity that might actually pan out pretty darn well for us. We're going to have to watch and see. Short on time because it might happen sometime soon, but also short in the direction because it could trade down for us, could de-risking maybe one of your favorite plays. We're going to have to watch and see. Guys, I do have an options course coming up. This is the last options course for the absolute beginner. So if you're interested in finding out what options are all about, how they can benefit you, the risks to consider, what are calls, what are puts, all that kind of stuff, taking you up to the point where you're ready to start engaging with options through buying those calls or buying through those puts. This is the workshop for you. There's a limited number of seats, and there is a live Q&A that goes with it and a 60-day forum chat that goes along as well, where I share out opportunities, and you can also ask questions of the community, and I'll also answer in those cases that as time allows for it as well, and I'll give you as deeply nuanced answer as I'm available and able to do. So guys, also moving on from that is the charts themselves. So let's go to the Qs here just to show that the market, look at this trend line that we have coming across the bottom. This is the bulls putting pressure on the bears across the top of this thing. The market wants to go bullish. It really does, but we got to get up on top of 574. So I'm going to dangle that number out there for you for the Qs. Above 574, we open up to 578, and then up above that to 583. If we can put that pressure on, 583 can be revisited. If we're able to break that top at 574, sit on top of it. Moving over to the SPY, you can see a similar sort of thing, only we don't really have other peaks to look at. We need to break over 647.64, so to call it 648, if you will, in order to have more room to the upside. So that's what we're looking to close above. But once again, we still have that same pressure being put on by the bulls. The bears holding that top line there. If we can break that resistance to the north and hold it, because we did try and poke over it this morning in the pre-market hours here, just couldn't quite do it. But up above 648, we should have a fair amount of upside yet to celebrate on that one. So putting up 1% or 2%, at least at very least in the short term. So also over to IWM, this one having a nice little run in the markets yesterday while the Qs and the SPY were down a little bit. The Russell 2000 actually took a little bit of a pop so far. So we'll see if it keeps on making that run towards that 248 price target that I have on this, or if it's one that's going to sputter out in the near term. We're going to have to watch and see. By the way, there's the inverse head and shoulders that you see, and there's the $248 price tag. As we can view it here most easily on the weekly chart that I have available for you, and that would also signal another new all-time high for the Russell 2000 stocks. Moving over to NVIDIA. There we go. For NVIDIA, that northward move that I talked about, we didn't do horribly with those earnings. Like I said, stellar was expected. Stellar was probably priced in, and so it was like, and then, okay, well, they were really good, so maybe we shouldn't just dump off yet. There's a ton of just important pivots to the north, things that can hamper us trying to get up above this. But once we do get above the 184.50, that's where that room to run is, and I talked about that last night. So far, that's proving to be the case, and I just want to draw a couple lines on here to show you the difficulty that we have. This is from the historic pivot lows, and you can see the high top wicks on this 1 hour chart that we're getting. Let me take down the EMAs on this so you can see a little bit better. There you go. There's those top wicks, and they're just, right now, they're a problem. Once we get on top of 179, we'll call it 180, we can climb another $1.50 or so on top of that, but then we run into just a lot more trouble to the north until we can clear 184.50. Until that point in time, we might not see those wild runs, but the market hasn't opened yet since they reported their earnings, so we'll watch and see what they give to us. Palantir's weekly chart, I think, is one of the more important charts that we can look at because of the way this doji candle has touched the 5 and the 13-week EMAs on this. How we end this week could decide what direction that we go. So will we push down further and test the 13? Will we push up and test the 5? Or are we going to break and close up above or down below one of them? That's going to be an important question to answer. Maybe we end about where we're at right now in the market tomorrow. We're going to have to watch and see, but then it would definitely put the strain on the following week to tell us what direction to expect from Palantir. For SOFI, this weekly chart is also very important for us because right now we have that shooting star candle, but this is not a fully developed candle. This is still developing. We'll see if we can continue that push down to the 5 EMA that's on this. That happens to be at $23.60, or are we going to push down further? You can see the sort of buying pressure that we got last time we tried to push down below the 5-week. So far, that's been support for us for SOFI recently, going all the way back. When did we first get it here most recently? It looks like going all the way back to end of April is the last time that we overtook it, and then we've been riding the 5 on the weekly chart all the way up for SOFI. So that 5 is the EMA to watch if we're not going to travel more to the north. We definitely want to see this week close up above $25 if we're going to continue that northward march up towards 28. So keep an eye out on the weekly chart for SOFI. And then the short opportunity, some of these, we got tweezers up here on the top of this on the monthly chart on QUBT, and then we see another signs of pressure here. Pushing down below that 5-month could be huge for us. Dropping down to the weekly chart, we're actually losing the 5 and the 13-week, and you can see opposite of what we saw with the Qs and the SPY, the bears are gaining ground and the bulls are having trouble holding that ground, but we are getting a little bit of buying pressure with some structure that happens to be over this side. The RSI is still bullish, but watch for a cross down below 50. If we get that push down further, we could see this thing drop down to just south of $11 per share. This could set up a really nice short-term-ish, days to weeks, trade for QUBT. If we drop down to the daily chart, what do we see? Even more signs where we're down below the 5, the 13, and the 50 on this thing. So down below the green, the yellow, and the red. But overall, we're still in bullish territory because we are up above the 200-day. So this trade would be against the trend, but there might be that nearer term weakness coming into it. And I have shown you the bulls that are trying to hold that ground that happens to be around the low 14s or so. We'll see if they can hold it. Near-term technicals suggest that there could be a further push down. Might set up a short-term trade opportunity for us. We broke the 50, retested the 13. Normally, well, actually, let me go back a little bit. We broke the 50, tested it, got retested resistance, and then sold off more. Came back up and touched the 13. That's usually a sign that you're going to sell off more after that. So I said that this would be a quick video. I tried to be a quick video, very dense for you in this video. Lots of information, very little bit of time. Go back and rewatch it. Write some of those numbers down. Write down that number of September the 6th on that Saturday at 2 p.m. for that live workshop with Q&A and that 60-day forum community. Use the link in the description. Use code word money when you sign up for it. I'll see you over there. And if I don't see you there, I'd like to see you over at the Discord. Code word doctor when you sign up for that. That link is also down in the description. And if you want more technicals for info, well, I should say, if you want to learn more about technicals, if you want to learn about trading using technicals, and if you want to learn more about options, there's some coursework too through Stockholm Academy. Code word doctor will save you $400 when you sign up. Bundling the 2 courses together will also get you the bundle discount, making an even deeper value. Guys, thank you very much for watching. I am Dr. Stock, Doctor of Education. Remember, my friends, that learning is earning. You'll see you next video.